Chapter 8. The nature of life is infinite. The nature of life is infinite. You will never run out of things to manifest, neither can your manifestations run out. There is a mistaken impression that we only have a specific quote-unquote credit balance. Once our good karma runs out, things will stop happening for us, or that bad things will happen to us. Where do these beliefs come from, and why do they affect so many people? These are erroneous, non-self-serving beliefs about the creative process that we have picked up from people around us who do not know any better. There is a prevailing belief that life is somehow difficult or has to be a struggle. Otherwise, we would not be fully alive. Let go of these archaic thoughts about manifestations once and for all. They are nothing more than fictional tales concocted by your thinking mind. Once you connect with not mind, you will realize that the nature of life is infinite. Just as you do not have to worry about what your next intention or desire will be, you do not have to worry about how your intentions or desires will be fulfilled. They will come into fruition through the same universal mechanisms that gave rise to them and are continually giving life to or orchestrating the trillions of manifestations around the world. Just as I do not worry about whether I will run out of words to write, let's use not mind to completely dissolve any negative fears, thoughts, or beliefs of things running out. Let us dissolve all concepts of lack and limitation as conceptualized by our mind and move fully into a mindless realm where everything is infinite. It is only when you stop questioning and stop looking for the eternal meaning of life that everything suddenly makes sense. A friend of mine makes a great living as a specialist eye doctor. On the outside, he is set for life with a well-paying job and a loving marriage. But he is miserable on the inside, always believing that there is something more. He sends me articles now and then about the meaning of happiness and how to achieve more of it. He is often worried about the future. The source of his troubles is so evident that he misses it completely. His thinking mind. He is so entirely overrun by his logical thinking mind that he does not realize his true nature. The awareness that underlies, observes, and knows everything. The thinking mind is always looking for an external goal to achieve or something to get. It is always looking for the true purpose of life. Many say, I'm not going to do anything until I have discovered my true purpose in life. But guess what made up this concept of one's true purpose? That's right, the thinking mind. Your true purpose can be anything you intend it to be, and it can be changed at any time. When you stop questioning, second-guessing, or doubting yourself, everything you do becomes the fulfillment of your purpose. You become part of the manifestation and part of the action. Just as how you do not suddenly start panicking and wondering what you are doing while driving down the interstate, you let yourself be one with the action needed for things to happen. If action needs to be taken, let it be born through you or others. When you drive, and unless you are a new driver, your mind takes the backseat. You become one with the vehicle. Hours become minutes, and you hardly remember the minute details of each turn you took and how you navigated each one. But still, you arrive at your destination. Let your life be as effortless as taking a ride. Enjoy the journey as much as, or even more than, the destination. Know that each destination you stop at is only temporary. You can change your route at any time or choose a new destination at any time. Is there an intrinsic purpose to any of these destinations? There is nothing more than the fun of it or the living of life. In other words, everything is about the full and complete expression of life. everything just is. Mystic and spiritual teacher Robert Adams teaches that everything in life is preordained and predetermined from a universal standpoint. But he adds that it has to be lived as if nothing is predetermined. When someone believes that their life is already predetermined, it results in some funny behavior. I have observed this behavior in some spiritual seekers. What is the point of doing anything if everything is already predetermined? They then descend into a downward spiral of discouragement and apathy. In fact, some spiritual seekers fall into the trap of apathy. What is the use of doing or trying anything at all? The source of that apathy is, once again, the insidious mind. The thinking mind sees no point in trying or doing anything because it does not know any better. It has merely swapped one story about the need for constant achievement for another. What's the point of trying? Give up all stories of the mind, including stories about your sense of identity, and live in the realm of not mind. We cannot even call it a realm because doing so would be defining what not mind is and placing boundaries on not mind. So the closest we can get to describing it will be the stateless state or the realmless realm. In the domain of the mindless, where are you? You will realize that you have disappeared and merged into the fullness of things. You have become one with that unconditioned awareness. You now operate and act from or as that one universal awareness. This does not mean that you become all-knowing in terms of traditional textbook knowledge. It does not mean that you suddenly know every piece of information out there, including what is going on in other people's minds. It merely means that you recognize yourself as part of the universal action and as part of this one formless awareness. I often say that when you come to this realization, there is nothing more you have to say or do. If you feel like speaking, you will do so. If you feel like writing and sharing with others what you know, you will feel inclined to do so. If you feel like doing, and if something needs to be done through you, you will naturally become part of the action. Taking action and non-action become easy, natural, and spontaneous, in large part because it no longer passes through the artificial filters imposed by our mind. There is no longer second-guessing, doubt, or the need to maintain any external sense of identity. An intention that comes into your awareness from the infinite realm is very quickly fulfilled in the infinite realm. Your part of the action is not to worry about how this intention will come to fruition. Some people turn worrying into a part of their conditioned life story, that it becomes an activity repeated over and over again. It is possible that you manifest a life of constant struggling and never getting what you want if you remain fixated on the stories told by your mind. Alternatively, you can transcend all of that entirely by bypassing the mind and immediately connecting your intentions to not mind. Why let everything flow through your conscious thinking mind? Resolve as you read to increase the connection between your conscious intentions and not mind. When this connection becomes a natural part of your being, then instant manifestations become a part of your reality. In fact, whether manifestations are instant or not will not even matter because you will be so fully engaged in the rhythm of life that everything happens at the perfect time. Demonstrate the infinite nature of life by becoming an expression of this truth daily. When an intention comes into your mind, hold it in your awareness very lightly and then connect it instantly to not mind for its manifestation. Live your life fully in the present moment and let the action carry you forward. If there are things that need to be done, Take care of them by immersing yourself fully in the movement. If old fears and thoughts appear in your awareness, dissolve them completely with not mind instead of dwelling on them. That was the old you, but the new you knows better. You don't want to squander another precious moment on your fears or worries when those energies can be directed more precisely towards your manifestations. Ask yourself, do I want to direct this energy towards my manifestations or my worries, which will then bring about more unwanted manifestations? Set an intention to direct all your energies towards your manifestations for the rest of your life. Make it a reality right now using not mind. While you're at it, set an intention to let not mind take care of all the negative events that occurred in the past, whether in this life or in other lifetimes. Let not mind dissolve the need for retaliation, the need to protect yourself, or the need to get back at anyone. If someone has wronged you in the past, let go of the need to get back or get even with that person. On a logical level, you already know that it is a waste of your energies. You want to spend every moment focused on fulfilling your intentions and the manifestation of your desires, not on getting back at people or events from the past. Use not mind to let all of the past go right now. The past is over. While the memories may remain, use not mind to dissolve any effect the past may have on your current or future manifestations. While you may still recall these events, you will notice that the emotional charge is gone. There's no longer any unfinished business or need to do anything. There's no longer a need for any drama to keep playing out for generations. It all ends here with not mind. Let go of the need to attack, protect, or to defend. The need to do any of this detracts from the present sacred moment of creation. When we are free of the baggage of the past, we are open to create the future. The only way to create the future is through the now. So you want to leave the now completely up to not mind. You want to hold intentions very lightly in your conscious awareness and then turn them over to not mind and repeat it with the next intention that comes through, and so on. There is no point in holding on to an intention for extended periods and letting the mind dwell on it, because as I have shown you, the mind is the least effective way to get anything done. You want to briefly hold an intention, let it go, and then turn your attention towards the next intention. The next impulse to enter your conscious awareness may not be an intention. It could be an impulse. This impulse could be an insight to do something, or it could also be a realization in itself. The impulse carries thought energy, and one impulse could change the course of your life dramatically by setting the direction right now. Let yourself be completely open to the reception of these impulses at any time of the day. These impulses flow to me and through me continuously, and I have increased my sensitivity to them over time. Sometimes these impulses are expressed physically. At other times, these impulses come in the form of nonverbal thoughts. These are very quickly translated into words. When you function from not mind, be sensitive to the impulses that come to you. These universal impulses are always knocking on your door, waiting to be let in. In fact, you have an always-on connection to the universal internet, just as how our phones and computers nowadays are always connected to the internet. You just have to be part of the action to receive these impulses.